In case you missed it, amongst the memos rolled out recently by Secretary of War Pete Hegseth was one about reducing mandatory training requirements. Yeah, finally something like 80-90% of us can agree with, maybe. Hi, this is Lindy Kaiser with ClearanceJobs.com. I wanted to highlight it just because we certainly support a lot of folks that are supporting the national security workforce. All of you are no stranger to annual training requirements, more than annual training requirements, sometimes refreshers just to get on systems. There are a lot of boxes to check when it comes to mandatory training across the government and military. The initial memos, again, that came out are kind of, I call them like a sensing function, right, for priorities across the new, secretary and what he's pushing out when it comes to initiatives. That was certainly the way the rollout was emphasized. Pertinent to this audience because it also addresses controlled unclassified information, or CUI, which if you are not familiar with CUI or you are confused by CUI, you are like the majority of the national security population. Basically, it was a new framework related to, you guessed it, controlled but unclassified information, trying to streamline processes around all of the different markups and markings that exist across government. FOUO is the most common one that we certainly come across. It is not classified, but it is, you guessed it, for official use only. That's one of many of these markers that are used across government. And again, noted in that Hegseth memo related to, hey, let's maybe try to reduce what are required and mandatory training requirements around cybersecurity, CUI, Privacy Act, all of that to draw focus to what Secretary Hegseth really wants, which is a focus on warfighter mission accomplishment. So not sure what will come out of that. I think there's a huge need for clarity on CUI, like just baseline clarity around what it is. But I, for one, am, a fan of, in general, reducing mandatory training. That doesn't mean less training. Hopefully it means better, smarter, more nuanced and niche training when it comes to the workforce. I find all too often training can be a check the bucket. I'm super passionate about security training, insider threat awareness training, refresher trainings. If you want to talk about better strategy around training, call me. Let's pretend I've answered my phone once in the past 10 years. You can also email or text. But again, reducing training requirements, I think good news for government. So let's look for good news while we can. I know jokes like, hey, we're on a government shutdown. Nobody's doing anything right now. Lindy, I get it. But again, I will take good news where I can get it, reducing required training requirements and hopefully replacing them with smarter, more nuanced training requirements. I would like to think coming to a government workstation near you. So for more on this, updates on CUI, whatever the heck it is, and training requirements for today, tomorrow, and to come, check us out over at ClearanceJobs.com.